All right, I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
I'm Jeffrey.
We were talking about yelling at people in the drive-thru. Oh my
I
God, America has changed.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm actually looking forward to a discussion about McNuggets. You know what drive-thru joint never makes you pull to a different spot is Taco Bell.
Yep.
I have never been asked to Taco Bell
Never happens.
to park somewhere else. But you can always tell, like, it depends on the Taco Bell you go to. Like, the one over here is not franchised, or is franchised. They never have the nacho fries. Okay, the one up there, all right, which I go to every now and then, up on Dublin, that one is franchised, and they do have the nacho fries. And you can tell when someone ordered the fucking nacho fries. Because it takes forever.
So in that case, would you rather they have a pull-up spot to be able to say,
No. I mean, if they're just going to go with no pull-up spot, I'm fine with that.
If that's the rule.
If that's the rule, yeah. So, whereas, like, the Mickey D's, this one over here has improved substantially.
The high school?
The high school one has improved. They must have gotten new management or something, man, because I've gone there, like, 3 times in the last, maybe, like, 3 months. No problems, any single time. Good food, fast service, no problem.
Has there been a time of day
No.
that you usually frequent?
No, it's usually in the evening, although I did do a morning run a little while ago, and they were absolutely on point in the morning.
Okay, so what I'll tell you here is that is my this is an old man sentence, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I like to stop for McDonald's breakfast after I get my testosterone treatment, son.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. Yeah, exactly. You pick up a fucking thrifty nickel on the way out of the store.
I know it's it really is. It's like,
Oh, it's Tuesday. It's no coupon day.
you guys know I'm here every Thursday after I go to the foot doctor. You know, that's so yeah, I go there. I go there for breakfast after I go get my testosterone shot. And one thing I will tell you is, if you go there in the morning, there is this, like, their manager, I guess that's who that is this cheery black guy who always gets things moving. He makes mistakes every time, but he fixes them immediately and then throws something extra in there for your...
At this McDonald's?
At that one, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
So I got breakfast there. Okay, so I don't get breakfast very often. I think it was a rare occasion where I had to take my wife to work.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
What was the snow?
No, I think her car was in the shop downtown.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay.
And so I went there, and they did not fuck up my order at all. And then I've been there twice at night. Perfect. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, and when I say that, I mean, usually it's not something big. It's just kind of like, well, you got the small coffee. It's like, yeah, it's like, well, you're getting a big one now. Because that's what he poured, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's not like they'll go back to that, or like, yeah, there was one time he said you ordered this, and so I was like, I most certainly did not. And he's like, oh, so you're this, and it's like, okay, there's an extra hash brown there for you. It's like,
Okay, that works.
that's
Yeah,
the thing,
yeah,
man.
exactly, yeah.
The extra hash brown apology will that you win every time.
Oh, dude, that pays it forward like 2 more visits. Yeah. So,
well, I go to the Freddy's out there a lot, and sometimes Livy doesn't want a full meal; she just wants fries. And so one time I did it, got back to the house, no extra fries. So Livy's gonna eat my fries.
Mm,
I'm not gonna drive back over there
right.
to go get. So I call them up and I'm like, "Hey, you guys didn't give me fries." They're like, "Oh yeah, we're sorry. Can you file it out online and they'll hook you up." So I tried to do the online thing and I'm like, so I do it again. I order again and they forgot the fries again. And I call up and I'm like, "Hey, this is the second time it happened."
did you order at the window or did you use like an app?
I used
or
the
something?
app.
Okay.
And so it shows it on there, everything.
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, well, my manager's going to leave you a free meal card here. You can just come get it tomorrow." I was like, yeah, that sounds good. So I show up and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here." They told me that there's a card here for me for a free meal. They messed my fries. She's like, let me go get the manager. And he's like, I don't see anything here. He's like, hold on. He comes back with 5 free meals. And I'm like, well, all right, you can forget my fries. That's fine.
I was thinking,
I was like,
why? I just saw
like
the end of the
5
story.
cards. I was like, whoa.
I just saw this end of the story. He's like, you know what? I am a man. So he just takes out his wallet. Just like,
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. It just opens a register. Gives you a roll of quarters.
that's cool though.
I was like, man,
Yeah.
these are Freddy's meals too, man. They're not the cheapest things in the world. I was like,
How much do you
"Great."
spend at Freddy's? I haven't been there in ages.
For just me?
Yeah. It's like, did you go there tonight?
No.
Oh,
I'm saving money. But
Oh.
it's about $14.
Okay, that's
13,
not
and,
terrible.
What do you get with it?
double cheeseburger with bacon, large fry, large soda.
no shake.
No,
Okay.
just shake, then it's
For
another.
$14. I mean,
That's not bad.
That's a $25 meal at Five Guys.
That's
Oh,
50.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a $25 meal under Trump's first presidency.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't been at Five Guys in ages, man. So
Good food. It's just they're so proud of it.
well, and it's pricey, and I've never gone there where they didn't smash the bun. So
That's
I think it's supposed to be that way, but
you may be right. Now I always smash mine anyway, but that should be my choice.
right. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing against it. I think their food is great, but I mean, it's just like it's neither fast nor inexpensive, man. It's like
Well, fast food in general isn't inexpensive. If you want a cheap meal, you go to Chili's now. So
I've heard
yeah.
Chili's is doing exceptionally well too.
yeah, they still
Isn't
do
it
like $10 meals.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Three-course meal
fuck, you can't do that at Taco Bell. So yeah,
with burger.
I mean, like
appetizer,
nacho fries don't really count as a course, but yeah.
No, the $1 like grillers don't count as a course.
No, that's what you feed your dog.
He's like, really?
It's like $1. Here you go, dog.
I'll take that. Are they just tiny or something?
Yeah. These are.
Yeah, they got some tiny things on their menu, man. It's like basically a flat taquito.
Yeah.
So
Well, I went to Subway. Well, I used their app for the
wow.
I
forgot about
Well,
ago. Yeah.
Livy wanted a churro, and Subway now has churros.
Okay.
And so I was just like, all right, I'm going to grab me a sandwich. And William was like, can I have some chocolate chip cookies? I was like, sure. So I did the app, and I ordered 2 cookies, and the churro, and my sandwich. And I come back, and I get back, and I'm like, this is really heavy. It's like, man, I open it up, and instead of giving me 2 cookies, they gave me 2-foot-long chocolate chips cookie sticks.
What?
And I'm like, holy crap!
They didn't charge you more for that?
Those are $5 each.
Oh wow.
And I don't know what they read, but
I didn't know
like
they
a
made
magazine
those.
of
Yeah.
cookies?
it's just one giant foot-long chocolate chip cookie.
Oh.
That's like yay big and like thick.
Ugh. It's like a brownie?
Kinda, yeah. But I was
I'd
just
eat
like,
it.
dang it. It was good.
Yeah.
No.
Well, my
I'd eat
kids
that.
were very
Yeah.
thrilled with that one.
Dude, I thought they gave you dough. That's what I thought at first. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was just like, wow, I'm gonna
They
use
started doing that at my daughter's school again.
cookie dough.
Cookie dough? Yeah.
oh, because there's no
No
eggs in
way.
it.
Yeah, there's no eggs
Oh,
in it.
yeah, that's
They
right,
make it
that's
egg
right.
free. So yeah.
I don't know, man. I've eaten my share of raw eggs. I've never
Yeah, you-
gotten racked up by it. So
I don't think I've ever gotten racked up by it. I don't eat that many eggs though, man. So
this an egg.
I don't
Yeah.
eat too many raw eggs on top of it.
I eat 0 raw eggs.
If cookie dough no longer comes with egg, then I definitely haven't had raw egg in a long time.
Come on, dude. You've cracked the raw egg over rice.
But that's hot rice. It's kind of
It is.
It has to get to 140 degrees to kill the boogies. So yeah.
don't even.
Yeah, no.
But that hasn't been since like I was college years.
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
don't think I've eaten it that
every
way.
now and then I get the hankering for it. It's kind of like,
That would only be if my stomach wasn't feeling well.
see, okay, I can see like it's like it's a comfort thing for me. Like, I don't know if you remember this, and this is a little bit dour, but I mean, I remember like Dad's last day, right? He asked Mom to make something that I don't think she'd ever made before in her life. Because I mean, it's not Korean. This is something that his mom would do. Yeah, I remember him describing what to make. She's like, "What would you like for breakfast?" He's like, "All right, you've never done this before." It's like, but I want you to make like a piece of toast, right? But I want you to like cut a circular hole in the toast and then cook an egg in there.
Yeah.
And I guess that was just something that Grandma used to do. Because I guarantee you, Mom never served me one of those.
Well, you would have been happy.
My dad used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, because I know for me, if I was cashing out, Mom was like, "What do you want?" There's one last thing. It's like, "Make me a meatloaf."
Gotcha.
Because Mom's meatloaf will always be superior to any one that I've ever eaten. And that can be completely biased, but it's hers. It's the one that I like the best. Or I could say, like, could you make me a plate of that whack-ass spaghetti that you used to make
Oh, I'm not asking for that.
with
No.
kidney beans?
No, no.
Oh, that's weird.
That
That
is,
is, that is
that's Ohio.
Oh.
That's Cincinnati style, where you serve it with chili.
Chili. Yeah.
Yep.
there would always be a pile of beans just sitting on the plate. I'll pick every single one of those suckers out. Those are
I'm not a huge fan.
gross.
Yeah, kidney beans either.
It's just like the almost flavorless mush stuff that's in my. Oh, it is.
Not as a flavor. It's just,
It's pretty bland.
yeah.
There's a reason why they put bacon and brown sugar in the cans.
I can't really fight you on this. I mean,
Like, you usually look for flavor packets, like those were the prizes. These aren't prizes, man.
no, there's just something to it that had some like density to it. Something to the weightiness of the.
That was like you trying to eat healthy. That was why it was there. It was like, there's beans, because that's supposed to be healthy.
We had a can of vegetables every night. I don't want to hear it.
A can.
Yeah,
Oh.
And I was fine with 2 of them.
right. So
Green
it's
beans
just,
and corn.
right.
The peas were gross.
Oh, I love canned
Peas,
peas.
they're
I
delicious.
hate
They're
peas.
absolutely great. And lima beans kick the
Oh,
I do not like
fantastic.
Yeah, there's you're wandering into my vegetable no man's land. So it's lima beans, Brussels sprouts, and
Great.
I do not like Brussels
I
sprouts.
think we only had the lima beans like twice or 3 times because I was
I
such
had them
a
all the time.
big baby about it.
Yeah, you were, but that's it's not like your father was.
Well, we'd have to eat it. It
Cauliflower.
was so bad. I would only do it if we had. I would only do the peas if it was a meal we had with gravy. Because I would soak them.
Well, you can put a gravy on anything and then it tastes like gravy.
That was the only way I was acceptable with peas, is because then it would be swimming in gravy.
I wonder. I mean, many times we had like those. I don't know. It was the like Gordon's Fisherman. I think those fish sticks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
In hindsight,
Mac and cheese with it.
would you have gravied those?
I would have yeah.
We always had mac and cheese with it, and there's no way I'd want gravy.
Gravy
and
with mac,
cheese.
yeah.
No, you wouldn't put gravy on that?
On mac and cheese?
Yeah. That seems like a no-brainer.
No,
No.
I've never done that.
No.
It just beefs up your mac and cheese, man.
I love Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh, I do too.
I don't need it with gravy.
Okay, got it.
But that's just. I know some people like what the Germans throw gravy on all sorts of stuff. On cake. I still haven't tried that one yet.
Gravy on cake?
On chocolate cake.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Brown gravy?
Yeah.
It's like mushroom gravy?
I don't know if
yeah.
it's mushroom gravy. All I know is that they put brown gravy on chocolate cake. And I
I'm
was
sure it's not chocolate gravy.
like, just extra chocolate.
They come in a brown bottle with Hershey's on it, you know.
It's really obvious about it, but are you certain? Did
I have not. Those sound
your
like
cake taste like meat drippings?
those are two things that I really enjoy.
Yeah, well,
I
okay.
just can't get my mind to wrap around throwing them together.
I'm actually not a fan of German chocolate cake. So
That's the coconut, isn't it?
German chocolate.
it's got way too much coconut.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Oh,
Little
I didn't
coconut
even
goes a
think about
long
that it was
way,
German
man.
chocolate cake too.
Yeah. Well, it's like encased in coconut. So
Yeah, it's a
and
raw
it's
shit
got
too.
like that dirt taste to it too, man. You know, like it. You know, it's like chocolate, but you don't cut it with enough sugar. So
Okay, I got in a fight with that earlier this week.
with who?
With
The
Guy on
dog.
the street. Hey, fucker.
with the Russians, because
Yeah, I hear they don't believe in sugar.
okay, so there was a time period in their history where they didn't have to believe in it because it wasn't rationed to
It
them.
didn't really work. Yeah.
So as far as the things they got from the government to eat,
Uh-huh.
I think you got like this much sugar. So maybe they just didn't believe it exists. But I got into a fight with these guys because I said I compared those heavier percentage chocolates, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these guys were standing up for like the 70-80%.
Oh.
Okay. I said there's no person on this planet that likes it, and it's in the same, that percentage of chocolate is the same reason that people eat those Pockies, one chip challenge, 1 million Scoville chips, right?
All those individual chips that you open and
Uh-huh.
they kill you.
Yes.
You know?
I was like, these are basically the ghost peppers
Of chocolate.
of chocolate, and the only reason that you like it that much is to say that you like it that much. It is a challenge. You're trying to, and they said no. They said,
Huh.
okay, now this was the argument, all right? It's not as though they didn't see my side. I did, of course, get some of that, some of that blowback of like, ugh, you Americans and what you call chocolate. I was like, yeah, I got a whole city named after it. Okay, do you?
Right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what chocolate is
Right.
now.
This is the land of
Yeah.
chocolate.
Where do you live? America. And your chocolate is gonna be our chocolate.
Yeah. It's going to have milk in it.
Uh-huh. But they said that they never eat that chocolate alone. That chocolate is meant for coupling with like coffee or something like
Oh,
that.
I meant like warding off vampires. You can't eat this by yourself, man.
Eat it during a seance.
Fucking Candyman will come out. You know?
So they may have a point because it's to say it's like we don't eat it alone. This is something that you serve with like coffee, and you have these two flavors.
Yeah, okay,
complementary. I'm
I'll buy
okay,
that.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
But
But see,
you would-
Italians do that too, man. So,
That makes
yeah.
perfect sense. But nobody would just go out there and be like, oh, it's a good afternoon. And you just whip one of those things out and just eat it. It's like, no chance.
Ooh, how refreshing.
So there's a case for it.
Okay, all right. I just, I don't know, man. Dark chocolate, I can get up like half. Like, what is it, like 56% or something like that?
Sure. Yeah.
That's fine. You know, but if it's starting to get up there a little bit higher than
Once
that,
you go into contest chocolate, yeah.
it's just not good. So,
I've never paid attention to the percentage of.
Does it taste like potting soil?
right, then it's that higher chocolate. Exactly. It tastes like kitty litter.
Being is that I like nerds, I don't venture far into darks.
Oh no, you're way on the other side of the thing.
so-
Man. Yeah,
But nerds are nerds. They're different. They're just
they're
like
just sugar. They're pure sugar.
Yeah, so I need my stuff sweet.
Yeah.
yeah. But nerds are their own thing. They're their own flavor. They're their own like state of
It's like
Matter.
concentrated pixie sticks.
Kind
yeah,
of.
they're very tangy.
But there's something about the two-sided box that makes it seem
Oh, I haven't
Sophisticated.
had a two-sided box in a while.
Oh god, I used to love those. I remember
Now
getting
they-
lemon lime ones. were
Now they
delicious.
come as like clusters
Yeah.
or the jelly bean ones, like
Jelly beans.
yeah, they're jelly beans that have the nerd
Yeah.
crusting.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, it's
They're good.
fantastic.
they're good. Yeah, I've had those.
All right, I'll try them, but
There's nerds ropes. There's nerds.
the ropes I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all delicious, man. It is just, it's all fantastic.
I got my nerds fixed last week. My daughter brought her Halloween candy back.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I got my nerds fixed by going to Walmart the day after Halloween.
Oh, see, that's fucking
Saying,
smart. I
I'll
didn't even
take
think about
that.
Just buy a sack of nerds. Yeah,
For
it's like we gotta clear this out because we gotta change it out for all the Christmas
It
fucking Hershey
went
Kisses this
bad
year.
in one day.
Yeah,
Nerds.
Yeah.
Right.
All their candy. I mean, it is so much candy. It's just like,
Oh, I took it. I bought one bag. I showed some restraint about one bag of the Ghosties peanut butter cups.
oh, those are delicious.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It doesn't fuck up the ratio. It's still good. Those were amazing. They like almost didn't make it home from the grocery store.
that's not. Oh,
I did that last
one bag.
Easter. So with the Reese's eggs, those are fucking amazing.
Those are great.
Yeah.
Yes, as are the Cadbury small eggs, the robin eggs. Have you had those?
I've had the little ones. They're pretty good.
Amazing.
The big ones are kind of gross, man.
Well, the big ones that have that weird cheese inside. Yeah.
It's not cheese. It's
I
ooze and
want to
it's-
see
It looks like
Oh, see if I get my brother to make a.
There's no way I'm eating one of those. That I've never tried one, and they're no, man.
It's really sweet. It's not actual egg.
Nope.
It looks
It's-
so gross.
I'm not gonna fight with you, Will. It's
It's kind of like eating a giant chocolate covered gusher.
it is.
Yeah.
Gusher filling?
Oh no, it's not fruit flavored.
Well,
Oh.
especially in the older days, it's a little bit more solid now. But in the old, they used to be bigger and they used to be way like wetter on the
Oh
inside.
yeah,
Yeah.
you used to have to like bite into one side and suck the goo. out. Yeah,
Like an oyster.
Yeah.
exactly like an oyster. Yeah, it's gonna suck the goo out.
My daughter might actually like that. She keeps getting these weird, like liquid candy. Like they're
Like in a syringe.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's
I
been
haven't seen that.
That's big now.
yeah. I was just like, what the heck is this? And she's just like, yeah. She's just,
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? Okay.
Did we fuck up the thing?
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think my daughter. I think her Halloween candy's just about cooked.
Wow,
Yeah,
dude. My kids came home with
she only went to one neighborhood, so and they only trick or treated for maybe an hour and a half. So
well, that should still be.
it wasn't our neighborhood. Our neighborhood was loaded with kids this year. So
Really?
yeah.
With friends or something.
She went with friends, and then there was only like I dropped her off at her friend's house, and there were only a few houses in the neighborhood. You know, and that's what I noticed is neighborhoods kind of change. You know, so like
They do.
there are some years like our whole neighborhood was like a giant fucking haunted house this year. Like everybody had lawn decorations out and shit.
Really?
Yeah. So, but then this other neighborhood that's like maybe half a mile away, nothing. There's like two houses. So
Huh.
Well, you have to remember. I mean, because we all come from this neighborhood, we were jam packed with kids.
oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but if you look at it now,
Ours-
it's yeah.
Ours was swarmed.
Now it's all old people.
Until I got that injection of weirdos next door, but I mean, they don't all live
They're
there.
cool.
They seem fine.
They talk to me. They would talk to you if you ever left your house in daylight hours.
So when I do notice that my interaction is so I'll see them like clustered around like their front yard, or sometimes like out in front of like across the street. I realize that my only interaction with them is like a look, and then I
Yeah, exactly. And they're not that young either. They got to be at least high school or maybe college age.
there's some middle
there's
there's some
middle.
middle school.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
I
some
only
older
see
ones
them
too,
at
but-
dark. So yeah,
Yeah, they do look kind of like thuggish at night, which is
but they're white.
no.
Oh, the ones out there tonight were. So
Tonight?
yeah.
They're out there now?
Well, yeah.
Did you say something?
No, because I'm like you. I also give them the look. So stay away from my car.
Don't throw snowballs. I know all about
Exactly. You
snowballs.
know what you're up to.
My windows are not cracked. Do not try and fill my car.
I know. I know. That's
Kids don't do that anymore.
No, they're so scared. So
Has the-
they don't do anything that's
No.
like what we used. They would never think to throw rocks at cars like we used to all the time. So let alone is like, look at this. We found an old shoe. This is perfect.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
I was asking my daughter about that the other day. She's like, "Do you ever see fights at school?" She's like, "Absolutely not." And so she's like, there was one fight one time, and because they've got so many like security goons now, so that they're just like on it, because like when we were in junior high, if there was a fight, they had to go get Mr. Kovar to break it up. So yeah,
Well, and the halls have cameras.
everything's got cameras now.
I guess the rooms don't.
The rooms don't.
I don't think
I'm
so.
not surprised. Parking lot sure as fuck does. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, I was gonna actually send this to you guys, but I couldn't believe it because in lieu of having like the Ring cam on my house, I'm on the Nextdoor app.
Oh no.
Okay, now I want you to be aware of this. Okay, Sandra Nicholson, she wants to know: are these your teenagers? They came to my house, and as you can see, this creep grabbed his crotch at my camera. Now, you just gotta let people know, huh?
That's kind of funny, actually.
Again, yeah, to me, that's completely funny. This is the minutia.
It is kind of a burning pile of dog shit. Yeah.
That's today's thing.
Today's
yeah.
version of that.
Except you're on camera. Like,
Yeah, right. But
I mean, what are you
what are
gonna
the cops
do?
gonna do? I mean,
He grabbed his crotch, but he saw the
fucking
camera.
saw his hands off. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much, man. And then that's the thing. That's why I want you guys to get on there, but not because the
I'm on
minutia
it.
of daily life on there is so funny. There was one thing that made the news
What here?
on this. Yeah, KRDO went to investigate shit from the Nextdoor app.
really?
Yeah. So check this shit out. All right, this seems like real local politics kind of crap, but bear with me. All right, where you're
Okay.
like, I can't believe this is a big deal. So there's a video that's going around the Nextdoor app of if you send your pet to like a groomer, right? I don't know. Have you done it?
No.
Okay, I did it once with Elvis, and it was whatever. But like some dogs have that kind of like almost like sheep or lamb fur
Okay.
that they go in there and they'll like shear
the
them up.
poodles
Yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah. And so there's a video on there where there's a girl at I don't remember the name of this place, but it's on Barnes, and she's shaving this dog, and it's debatable whether she's getting rough with the dog, right? There are some people that are like, why is she pulling the dog's leg like that, right? This is a big long dog, right? And there are other people like, I don't know, man. I'm not seeing it, but
So they had a camera in a groomer's shop.
get this. Okay, that video was released by another employee that worked at that shop who disliked that employee.
Oh, this is delicious now.
This is the real
This is
local.
a high drama Village 7 here.
Okay. Yeah. So the loud voices of like this is cruel. This girl needs to be fired. Blah blah blah. One girl jumps in. She's like. She's an old lady. She's like, I've known this person for like 10 years. I went and talked to her personally. She's like, it's like, she didn't fire her because of this reason. Whatever. It's like, oh, you think that's okay? Whoa, 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 whoa. I'll never take my dog on the internet. And so this collection of local harpies, they get together and they say like, we're going to go out to that shop and we're going to go out there
In a
and
protest.
and we're going to show people this video when they're coming in and saying, "Excuse me, have you seen this video?" So they start.
Your dog should be on a leash. Your dog should be on a leash.
Oh yeah.
What makes you think it's okay? It's like it is the law after all. So they're out there with their phones, right, doing what they consider to be justice over here. So much to the point that eventually KRDO did run a little spot about this with that video, and eventually that chick got fired. Then that chick that got fired went on the Nextdoor app and started firing back at these people. It didn't work because she's stupid, right? Like, she's speaking this form of, like, I mean, you could see her. She's this, this kind of like weird looking white chick, but whatever's coming out is like pidgin English.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's having fights with these uptight white women.
Educated types.
Yes, yeah, if you want to call
I'm
it
going
that.
to
Yes.
use 3 syllables in our words. Take that.
It's this is, you can't do that with me, because for me, remember, this is Princess Bride shit. I'm like, well, I'm not actually left-handed, so if
Right, yeah, exactly. Neither am I.
but I this thing lasted like 2 weeks, and every day it was people chiming in there like crazy. I'm like, this is what local life is actually like. Right? These are like the actual big concerns of,
Yeah.
so this week has been filled to the brim of videos and pictures of stupid white girls crying because their candidate didn't get their way, right? It has been,
They didn't even vote for her. The demographic breakdowns are fascinating, Jeff.
you went into them even more too, didn't you?
God, I went into it hard, man.
There is some.
It is shocking.
I know, you know what? And this was
It is shocking.
this was the other thing I was wrong on, was they said that their major exit issue wasn't the economy. They said it was
immigration.
democracy.
Oh yeah, no. The big one was the economy. The second biggest one, by a wide margin, was actually immigration. So,
This is some weird shit. And again, this is but yeah, so you have people crying over these things like all the way on this, like to the point where my favorite story is the people who on Twitter or X will go out there and they'll basically tell these stories about their kids saying things that they couldn't possibly say. Where it's, my 10-year-old daughter came to me today and she was in tears. She said, "How can so many white men hate women so much?" You think I'm joking? You think I'm fucking they're chock full. The people go in there, God, the one that really made the rounds was that fucking idiot that's like, "I knew 3 people that took their lives today."
Oh my God! Come
No,
on.
you don't. This would make real news if you did. You wouldn't be saying this here if that happened.
right, we'd be questioning you.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have been surprised that much. Like, your candidate was not good.
Well, I think there was definitely a lot of surprise, but it was. I mean,
how powerful it was.
What bubble were you in?
yeah, exactly. That's
That's
what it
yeah.
is. It's like, yeah, obviously you don't get out and actually talk to real people very often. So yeah, because
You're
I mean,
on Reddit.
yeah, like, and I've seen the difference between work and the yacht club. People at the yacht club have been calling this for like about a month. People at work are going to be interesting next week.
You know what? Okay, so here's the thing that really fucking got me in the end. All right, what was the most accurate predictor of what states actually went in the election?
What do you mean? What
Polling and what map?
What map?
Basically, yeah, what electoral map was the most accurate?
Oh, I don't know.
It was Kalshi.
I don't know what that is.
That was the betting site.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Well, I can see
It
that.
was dead on.
Yeah, I can see that because there's a lot of people who are going all in one way or the other on the betting markets. So they were very dichotomous.
Uh-huh.
So there were some guys who made a lot of money off of it.
There were. But when it came down to it, it was the most accurate map of them all. And it's funny because if you think about it, all people were doing was chasing money on there.
Right. Yeah, but I mean,
I know.
we talked about that a
There
little
could have
bit
been
ago.
shenanigans.
Well, I don't even think it was just weren't that many people doing it. So you had a few people doing a lot of money on it. So it looked a lot bigger than what it did. But most people were like, yeah, I'll put $1 on it, you know. So
Well, and it wasn't showing up on my betting site. Otherwise I
no,
would.
No,
yeah.
because it was its own.
It was its own thing.
That was that place actually has the exclusive rights to that kind of thing.
Because if it was on my betting thing, I would have.
Yeah.
Well, you can do it on other ones too.
I know. I've
The
had to go
difference-
set up a different account and do all that.
Yeah, fuck that.
I just chose not to bet.
And the other one that was surprisingly accurate, the one that we think is dog shit, Rasmussen.
Yeah, they were pretty close. They were pretty close. So they're not that bad, but they definitely they're a little bit.
They put their thumb on the scale.
They do a little bit, but this time, like, you know, even them putting their thumb on the scale and it actually being that accurate doesn't necessarily mean that they were actually doing it right. It just did move. No, but like, there's only one podcast that I watch or listen to where people were calling the Hispanic vote the way that it actually turned out. Just one.
They were saying it on Fox a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't listen to Fox.
Oh, I was like, they were saying it a lot on Fox.
Yeah, but that was the only one. So, and they were actually pretty emphatic about that and urban black voters. And then, I mean, but the funny thing is like the demographics. I mean, if you look at it, there's not this enormous fucking 70-point gender gap that we were told that was going to exist.
No,
It's
that was
not even
was
close. Yeah. So, you know, and then the same thing's true with like, you know, turnout. There are a shitload of people who just like, fuck it. Just didn't do it. So, you know.
That's one of the arguments again where they're saying because you and I talked about this. Where did those 15 million votes go?
Yeah.
There's an
Compared to
argument,
last time or the ones that they said. Oh, yeah.
Compared to 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
right? So either those like because Trump's numbers are relatively the same.
Yeah.
So
no,
either,
he's up by like 6 million. So,
well, no, because it was 76 last time or like 74. It was 74.
72 now, right?
Yeah, 72.
Yeah.
So his numbers are relatively the same. But you're telling me that the other candidate dropped by 13 million?
Yeah, I'd actually buy that. So,
There is no way that I would see 13 million people right there just not voting.
well, a bunch of them
No
went over and voted
way.
for Trump this time.
But his numbers, again, were still about the same as they were last time around. So whatever
Well,
the flux
that's
was
what
in and out.
that's what I'm telling you, man. Is if a bunch of people went for the Democratic ticket in 2020 and then went over to the Trump ticket, that would be a minus in their column and a plus in his column. His column would not stay the same because again, there's a spike in 2020 thanks to everybody doing mail-in ballots for both sides.
Right.
For both sides.
Right.
So yeah, so there's just I mean, it's just stunning that they actually took the popular vote. So, although that narrowed a little bit, not much, though.
No, it's still it's about a 3 million difference
right
after California.
Yeah, but during the next day, it was like 6 million. So yeah, it's narrowed a little bit, but it's still emphatic. There's a funny fucking thing. Do you remember this back in 2020? Colorado, we had that vote on whether or not we should actually our electoral votes would go towards whatever the popular vote is.
Oh,
yeah.
that would have been crazy.
Well, we did sign that into law. It just doesn't take effect until there's enough states on board with it.
Right.
It's not going to happen now.
Oh, gotcha.
So, that would have been so fucking
Oh my
funny.
god.
Serves you right.
Well, I remember we were all like, "That's bullshit, and you should never do that." But there's all these people trying to hack the electoral college, and then just realize actually the way to hack the election is to go out and just fucking treat people like people, and then they'll vote for you.
This is this is the thing. Is if you do the rounds on it, there's nothing more. There is nothing more hateful than watching, The View the day after election day.
That was I couldn't even hate watch that, man. So I saw some clips from it. Did you watch any
I
of
just
it?
watched the clips, man.
Oh
And
man.
there's just this thing that I don't care if you guys don't want to win 2026 or 2028. Keep on doing what you're doing. But there's just this thing where And obviously, I don't know if this is shtick or not, but I mean, like Sunny Hostin may be the stupidest woman alive.
Which one is she?
She's the black curly haired,
Okay.
woman who who when she goes outside and sees green grass and flowers, it's just racism everywhere. It's
I
like-
saw her get in a debate with a guy that I watch quite a bit. He just pretzel bendered her.
yeah,
So,
she has nothing to it. But
Yeah.
so of course it was the racism, misogyny shit the next day. It's like I'm embarrassed for America. I was like, y'all don't get it.
Yeah.
This is a small town with one McDonald's and one Burger King. Like, and you don't cuss at the voters for going to the king, right? You entice them to come to McDonald's.
Yeah, you offer
Right.
something better at the McDonald's.
Right? Now, every now and then, if there's a scandal out there, it's like, the king has rats. Then you put that on the news and say, like, you may not
King
want to
has
eat
rats.
that,
Yeah,
right?
you might want to hold off a bit.
But you don't sit there and say, like, you ate at the king? Are you racist?
Racist. You pig. Yeah.
And there are I'll tell you, the one guy that went out there like a standard bearer the next day and said, like, we're doing this all wrong, was Bernie Sanders.
He did that. So there's a couple guys. James
Yeah.
Carville did that too. the
Axl
next day.
Rod did too.
Axl
Did
Rod
he?
did too.
No.
Yep.
It's
So
like, you guys we gotta change.
like yeah, it's like we yeah. I mean, it's like
This shows you this is not working. It's gotta change, or I mean, he even threw in DEI. He's like, it's all,
it's done.
it's gotta change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They might bang on that drum even harder. So, it's just like the Democrats have a fundamental problem. And then this was summed up in a really good graph that I saw like yesterday, where it was the breakdown by income who voted for what.
The
Oh.
rich were voting
The
for.
rich voted for Harris, and
Yes.
the very poor voted for Harris.
Yeah.
Everybody in the middle broke hard for Trump by like 7, 8, 10 points.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like, well, that makes sense. So if I'm an Ivy League educated turd, who sits on my laptop and sips my tea
Right.
all day, because, daddy paid for this apartment at one point in time.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'd vote for Harris. And then, you have like the hangers on of the last remnants of the true working poor.
Right.
Who are like, oh, wait a minute, he's going to cut my food stamps? Fuck.
Right. So the class that whatever color you want to put up front of it, but then follow it with the word trash. That is
That is,
yes.
well, not in, and it depends where they are. If they're urban, yes. If they're rural, no. So, yeah,
that's true.
So, yeah, if you go by location and education, you can almost perfectly predict how someone's going to vote. So, if you do it, are you city mouse or are you country mouse? So, are you rich mouse or are you poor mouse?
But at the same time, what they're still stumped on is when they look at the graph with all of the tiny little red arrows and like 4 little blue arrows,
Yeah.
where they say where and in what counties were red gains versus blue gains.
Oh, Miami-Dade was huge for red team. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it basically turned into a Republican county overnight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there were a couple others too, and they were talking about like so many things that were actually trending blue did not.
Nope.
No, especially like urban centers in Texas. They're like, oh, we're going to turn Texas into a purple state. Like, no, you're not.
Not anymore. I believe there were a couple places in Washington State and Oregon that went further blue.
There were, yeah. And the same thing's true in like Chicago area. So parts of that actually
Right.
went further blue. But I don't think the final tallies are out for Pennsylvania yet, but Philadelphia suburbs basically did not show up like everybody was saying that they would. Even that night, they were like, "Oh, well, we're still counting these votes."
Wait till the suburbs come in.
They never fucking shit. They never came in. So so
You guys just like drive by and
yeah, fuck it. You
like-
know, gotta take my kid to work in the morning.
oh, there's a line,
Have they called the House? Just
I think the
Okay,
House has
nothing
got
wrong.
no, not yet, but it looks like they're gonna have a majority of like maybe 2. So the Senate looks like
Senate's
it's 3, but they're still counting the Kerry Lake thing. So I don't get that one.
Is a shit show.
That is
that
like,
should be investigated from top to bottom.
Dude, I have no idea. I mean, you're talking about a Republican county too, so I mean,
But the guy in charge has famously said, "I want to make life hell for Carrie Lake."
yes, it is, dude. It is. It's a Republican Civil War. So going on now, I have no fucking clue what's going on.
Ruben Gallego's a scumbag.
Oh yeah, I guess, but like, I mean, he's like, I mean, he's like left of Bernie Sanders, man. And I mean, if that's the guy that the Democrats are actually going to put up in a contested county, then okay, fine. You kind of deserve to have a close race then.
I don't know how you guys can be counting this far past the date.
I have no idea. I don't know
It's
what
so
is the
long.
fucking hold
Yeah,
up?
that's why I was like, I don't.
I mean, have they done like an initial count and they're just doing a second one now or something? I don't
think.
Yeah. So now that's where my in-laws vote, and they're like, "There's no problem," So I have no freaking clue.
I haven't seen anything over
Yeah.
since the weekend. It's all sports stuff. But
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, did you watch the Broncos today? Oh, I'm sorry.
I died.
Yeah,
I died. That.
it was actually fun watching football.
Well, yeah,
not having the
it
election in the back of my mind. Yeah.
Right.
So it's
Yeah,
just
there
like,
were no
wow, it's like normal America.
There were no.
There were no
political
fucking ads. Yeah, it
I
was
don't
great.
even know what the commercials were. I have no idea.
Americana.
I have no idea. I just didn't
We went
see
back to
people
Geico ads like
tell-
that. Yeah.
There were a lot of Geico ads, progressive ads. Back to the normal stuff that just is in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, that killed me. I died.
That was brutal. So
I hurt.
chip shot, man. So it's almost too close.
Oh. The whole left side of the line didn't blocked.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
It wasn't just one guy getting through. That was just brutal. But yeah, we can get back to.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to do.
So I didn't know if they actually had said the House yet, because I was like, there was still like
No,
15 seats up for debate on Friday.
they're pretty close. There's a few that are non-contested. They were saying that Representative Speaker Mike John Mikeson is probably going to get the job again.
I don't have a problem with him. And
No, he's fine.
there are dudes that are like, why didn't he? It's like, you know what? He's more of a mediator than I gave him credit for. I thought he was going to be a stooge. But there were certain things where he's like, no, guys, actually, we have to chill out on this.
Yeah. No.
There's definitely a fight right now about who's going to be in charge of the Senate.
Well, it's not going to be Mitch McConnell. So no. So like it's who's this? John Cornyn and
And
Some
Scott God damn it.
I don't know. I don't know if it really matters though. So it's not Mitch McConnell, so that's fine.
Right.
So yeah, whatever. So you just pick somebody, do heads up 7-Up for it or something.
No, the big rumor right now is about the two potential things. One about they're trying to convince Sotomayor to.
She won't do it.
She has said so. She's like, no.
No, well, first of all, she's not ancient, and then second of all, it's just there's no way you could get a confirmation through a lame duck Congress. There's no fucking way.
Right.
I mean, when Obama was leaving office, who was it died? Was it Scalia who died? No.
No. It was the woman.
Oh yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
When she died, that's right. And the fucking Republicans stalled for a year. So the whole idea that you would actually get a confirmation in the next month is ridiculous.
Keep in mind, the confirmation that they want to do is Kamala Harris.
What?
Yes.
See, that makes sense. That's kind
Into
of,
the just what?
There's two things that they're trying to do theoretically, and Bernie Sanders he did say it's like, yes, I've heard of these. These are things they're talking about doing. The first was basically trying to get her into the Supreme Court via convincing Sotomayor to
She's not gonna.
I heard that, but I didn't hear
Yeah,
that
I
it was
heard
going to be
that too.
Kamala.
The other thing was that there's a big coalition right now that is trying to say Joe Biden should retire right now so that she would be the first female president.
You get a month-long presidency.
And it turns out he is not doing that. He is-
He's not doing that, man. So
Well,
he's gonna roll out of that place in his MAGA hat, man.
They're having lunch.
Gonna bam.
on Cure, they were trying to do that just so that all the Trump people would have to print new shirts about which number president it is.
Don't threaten.
That's
him
kind
with
of funny.
a
Yeah,
time.
don't threaten him with a good time.
Because it's like that's his thing. Is like, wait, I get to sell merch twice.
Right.
Do it.
I was just like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about the again, if anything goes for like the didn't earn it of DEI of retiring with a month and a month and a half out to make you the first woman president, and you've earned nothing.
Yeah.
That
if-
is the
if I was-
cornerstone of that.
Yeah, if I was female, that would infuriate me. So
Yeah, evidently
yeah.
Jill Stein has been like injecting
Jill Stein or Jill Biden.
or Joe Biden. She's
Okay.
been injecting Biden with like life supplements because
the
it's
blood of
like,
small children.
it's like you must not die before this term is over.
He's not gonna die.
This is impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be around for a little while. He's definitely gotten a little bit radio silent though, so which like really speaks loudly.
No, he's done a couple of things
Yeah, I've
that,
seen
that
him
were
out and
very
about a little bit,
like he's cheery. He's
Right, yeah. So he's not all fiery,
Hilarious.
talking about garbage supporters no more. So, which man, I want to read the book on that someday.
again like that same shit where you guys got caught with your hands in the cookie jar, like that bullshit of like. Actually, there's an apostrophe here. It's like no, there's not.
No,
This is
Oh,
wrong.
yeah.
This is again hand caught in the FEMA thing. You saw that, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, this was another thing that the New York Times would fact check and say, oh, false, never happened. Okay, so somebody from FEMA, one of the people in charge, okay, they issued a mandate that said, do not go to houses with Trump flags on.
Oh well, that guy's fired.
It's a woman.
Oh,
It's a
she's
black
fired.
woman. And there are people, this was like, is this true? They went to the tickets, right, that the people submitted. It says, Trump flag not visited per orders. So this is not a conspiracy. This is shit.
See, that's how you actually find out about that shit is because you have employees that say this is fucking bullshit. I'm gonna write this down. So yeah,
Yeah, because they're responsible for saying why they didn't visit the house.
yeah.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Is yeah, everything like mainstream media goes. They know their goose is cooked. They were having a discussion. I can't remember who said it. He said basically my words. He's like, all of us put together don't match Rogan's audience. We
Well-
thought we were cool. We're not.
Yeah, but Vance actually had a point about that. So
He did.
Yeah, that even if they only draw like 10% of the audience, if that audience watches them every single night,
Right.
they
Right.
actually get they get way more views than Rogan does, especially when it comes to topical shit.
Right.
So because like we talked about many times with Rogan, like Theo Vaughn was on, it's like no, skip. So
I get nothing out of him.
no.
What am I missing? What is Theo Vaughn's
What is
appeal?
He's comedian, podcaster, turd.
Okay.
So,
Right.
from
Yeah,
that,
right, so even if I Googled him, I wouldn't recognize his face.
you might. He's got a mullet, so yeah, he's a little bit distinctive in that sense. But he did like the first big Trump interview.
Yep.
And it was him, and then Ben Shapiro did one, and then he had another one. Oh, Lex Friedman did one.
Yeah.
So and then it was the big Rogan one at the end. And then he did another one after the week after that. I can't remember who it was with though. So
No, because it was small fries in comparison.
yeah,
I
it
can't
was.
remember, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't so something like so stupid where it's like, Oh, this is Mike and James in the morning on.
Yeah, it's Captain Dan.
We're sitting down with, what's your name? President Trump
Trump,
is what
yeah.
he calls himself. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it was tiny in comparison.
it was small, but I mean, he sat down and took the time to do it. So, and then I mean, yeah, he went to New Mexico. He campaigned in New Jersey one more time. So it was crazy. So
Yeah, and then he kind of went radio silent for a few days after the election. They found him. He's just golfing with his grandkids.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you've
you
heard
notice
it, well,
they don't really talk about him golfing anymore. So it's just because he might get shot at. So
Good for you.
did you say that fucking shit about the Iranians trying to kill him?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. So
These are bizarre times we live
it
in.
is bizarre time. I'm telling you, man, stick a pin in this. You watch, that Pennsylvania kid's name is gonna come up. So he was promised 47 virgins somewhere. That's why he ain't got no fucking phone. So I'm telling you, man.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. You've from the very beginning when you started talking about the removal of Biden from the beginning, that there's going to be some very interesting stuff that comes out of this on the back end in 10 years, 20 years. I think it's that. I think it's the Iran. I think there's going to be so much stuff that swirls out of this time period.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, look at how many people tried to get this guy's ass. If they couldn't get him with bullets, they tried to do it. The fact that they dropped all those cases is like, you know what?
Fuck it. Yeah, we're done. Yeah.
We're done. We're done.
So, yeah, well, I mean, almost all of them was driven by that one dude in New York.
Jack Smith, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So,
And he's the one that dropped all that shit. He's just
well, he's going to be out of a job here in a couple of months because he's a federal appointee. So,
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah, so we're going to have an opening in the Southern District. Manhattan.
there is something to me that is like, so Mr. Trump, what are you gonna do with your first 100 days in office? Like, well, I'm gonna sit at that desk, and that's the trap door. And,
I don't even know about that, man. I almost guarantee you he's going to have everything lined up before, maybe even within the next 2 weeks.
especially with all the discussions
Cabinet
with
and
the
all that
cabinet,
shit. Yeah, he moved real fast on his chief of staffs. And I've never heard anybody say anything bad about that lady. So
Shit comes from somewhere, right?
she is Pat Summerall's daughter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but she's been with him for 2 or 3 years, and she doesn't ever get in front of cameras. It's hard to find an interview with her. So, she's just an operative. And so,
Yeah, and it's not like she's fucking like Sonny Corleone, where they come to see her and he just grabs the camera, throws it on the ground, starts peeling off bills.
yeah. Completely whiffs the punch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, oh wait, those are 2 different scenes. Yeah, you're right. So, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same idea. But anyway, yeah. So, but all the commentariat out there, they're all like, oh yeah, she's pretty badass. So it was that was a good pick. Even people who don't like, red team, so we're kind of like, yeah, that's pretty smart. So
It's kind of like, it's like, where's our version of that? That's
missing, man. I mean, Democrats are going to spend a little bit of time wandering in the weeds here for a bit. We'll see.
They have to. Yeah.
They have to, and I mean, but they can go one of 2 ways. I mean, I don't think they're actually going to be able to turn around and get a lot of those votes back. So, I mean, because
They called them all horrible people.
well, they did that last time, and it didn't work out, and they didn't learn the lesson. I mean, what is it, 3rd time's a charm? So either that or
If they were going after their own people, being like, you need to go tell black men, you need to go tell that.
oh
you
yeah,
need
the
to-
scolding by Barack
Yeah,
Obama.
it's just
Yeah, come on, man.
Dude, you're pissing off people that were on your
Dude,
side.
and younger voters actually broke for Trump, which blew my mind. But now that I think about it and I think about my students, it's like, oh, that makes sense.
The ones that hear that shit from their parents.
They're
the people-
sick of hearing that
Yeah.
shit from their parents, and they're tired of this, I mean, well, they've all seen it where somebody got through a class, because I've been oppressed, kind of thing. So they've all seen that somewhere. So they and they're much better about sussing out that bullshit than most people are. So that didn't surprise me. But then the other thing is that there's just this complete like disconnect on blue team where it's like, well, what are we gonna be the corporate party? You're not gonna be the corporate party if you have the bottom 25th percentile in your fucking voting block. So
No, well, yeah, that's the thing. The you cannot have movie star after movie star after billionaire walk your stage and say we're for the poor. Like,
nobody believes that.
it's like, no, you're not, because
No, you're
you
not.
guys could all be feeding the poor.
Yeah, and your concert tickets are fucking $1,600 a piece. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
yeah.
the fact that billion-dollar enterprise is $20 million in debt.
I thought it was a $2 billion thing. So
What, Kamala's thing?
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was one.
Oh, okay.
Over, like,
Raised $1 billion,
1
she's $20 million
Yeah.
in debt. She overspent $20 million.
And 500 million was on her staff.
I thought she was well over $1 billion.
And Trump's was only like
Half.
50 million.
Yeah.
Was
It was
on staff.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was half. And, I mean, that's the thing that I like the most about it, because we talked about that back in 2016. It was like, well, you prove that you can't buy a fucking election, and now it's been proven 2 more times.
Twice.
So yes, exactly, because Joe Biden spent a fuckload more money than Donald Trump did and barely won. So
And barely won. Well, okay, so again, you can talk about that. Well, no, you can talk about that electorally, right? Or you can look at that and say, like, well, the popular vote, yeah, he
did win the
out,
popular
right?
vote. Yeah, that's
So you go that and say, like, barely. It's like, I don't know, it was like that, but
yeah.
COVID's not a every 4 years kind of phenomenon.
No, although not. Imagine if Trump had another pandemic, man.
No, it's. I mean, they tried to make it happen. It's like, no, man, like monkeypox ain't gonna do it.
No.
It's just not.
Even though they escaped.
Oh, yeah.
This is some.
Did not take the test.
fucking content.
This is some Michael Crichton
I
shit.
know. So.
Oh my god. I heard that. I don't remember which morning it was. They're like, this is a real story.
It's like, do not touch the monkeys.
Don't try and take them as
Like, that's
pets.
interesting. So, I mean, if you didn't have something nasty in them, you'd say, hey, if you see a monkey, try and trap it in your garage or something, but they're like, do not just call the police. So,
I mean, I'm surprised. I guarantee you, if they'd given the order, it's like, look, we don't normally say this, but for those of you with weapons, shoot them on sight.
oh yeah, they would.
Those motherfuckers be dead.
They'd be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in South Carolina, right? North Carolina.
Yeah,
It's somewhere where people do have firearms.
They do.
Many of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that one was funny.
I didn't even look how the local rules sorted themselves out.
Oh,
Was there
here?
anything wacky?
So they shot down recreational marijuana. There is one that pissed me off, and that's the
Yeah.
gun one. So they passed a new gun tax.
Oh,
So yeah, and I did not think that was going to pass.
Wow.
So, but almost all the border regions actually did go to Republicans. So the state house is still like basically 2-1 Democrats to Republicans. It's just the way the state's going to be for the foreseeable future. They passed they repealed the language in the state constitution regarding marriages between a man and a woman.
Right.
So they did repeal that one. They made abortion a right in the state, enshrined in the Constitution. I kind of expect that one like overwhelmingly passed, like 75%. So it was
Wow.
crazy. So
I mean, again, that's something that.
I think you voted no on it because it was going to make you pay for them.
no, that was the cop one. So that one passed.
That one
Over
passed,
that
yeah.
one passed. So the road thing here passed like by a wide margin. So the rec thing was actually pretty close. It was like 48-52 or something like that.
The wreck thing?
Recreational marijuana.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That was pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, none of
the judges got kicked off.
Pat, that was the funny. He's like, my wife is mad at you about that. I'm like,
totally mad at you.
I was like, why the fuck did you tell her? It's like, I didn't tell her.
Oh, she listened to the show?
It's like, you told me you weren't gonna tell her. I know we didn't put that shit in the description. So
No. And I must say, I did the artwork on one of the ones. You chose Leftoids as the name,
yes.
but there was something like rummaging through Hillary's corpse or something. And I was like, oh, guys! Dude, that would have been way better.
Why did we
Why
say
do we call
that?
that? I can't remember.
I was like, Leftoids? I had to Google it. I didn't even know what a leftoid
we made
was.
it up. It was a word that.
No,
we
it's
coined.
real.
No, it's a real
Oh,
word.
it's real.
It's real.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was made up.
Well, I've heard left hard, so, but I've never heard left.
You're not really that far away.
Well, I know. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
I mean, you're in the indoctrinated
It's like-
camp. But what were you doing with Hillary's corpse? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I
either.
can't. I think it was rummaging through Hillary's corpse, and I was like,
Oh,
dude, how is that not a title?
that's right. Because they were gonna loot her. That was yeah. it was
Like
like
a dead NPC.
yeah, that's right. 'Cause-
That's right.
Forgot about that. Yeah. It was like, when she dies, like a block of cheese and a key, like they fall out,
Yeah.
and like a spell for fireballs. I don't know. It's
Right. Yeah. I have to get this identified. So, yeah, I haven't heard a peep from her.
Well, they're all going away for the next.
I think so. Yeah, like I don't know, man. I mean, yeah. So there was the folks on the View, and then Matt Taibbi did a good job of actually breaking down like Rachel Maddow's like fucking meltdown.
Oh, that fucking dumbass, like, we are the resistance tirade. I'm like,
right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you're anything but.
no.
She was because she said something stupid like now I'm going like no more Mr. Nice Guy. It's like, oh, because you and Trump were besties before,
Oh,
you
right,
were holding
yeah.
back.
Yeah, you were holding back.
Yeah.
Fucking, I mean, and Jimmy Fallon got universally ripped to pieces the next day after his
yeah.
crying speech.
Oh, Kimmel,
Kimmel, yeah, you're
yeah,
right. It was
yeah.
Kimmel. Yeah.
the little bitch. Fuck him.
So,
Well, because that
yeah, so they just like scattered, you know? I mean, they're running for the hills.
So
So,
here's some things I can also say. Rob Reiner's last tweet was
I moved to Canada.
no. He didn't say that. What he said, his last tweet, and this was pre-election, was Kamala Harris will be the next president of the United States. It has been a radio silence since.
Yeah, I'll bet. How about Stephen King?
Stephen King mumbled some stupid shit, but nothing big. He wasn't getting.
He's
it
not a
anyway.
leave the country kind of guy. So, yeah, no.
No, he's
Tom Hanks leaving the country.
Tom Hanks said he was leaving the country.
He said
Why
he was
Tom?
going.
Well, I saw that Richard Gere did leave the country, and so it's like you haven't been relevant since 2002. So.
Richard Gere.
Gere.
Oh,
Gere,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So, Gere.
No, Tom Hanks put out a weird statement. One of them included something to the tune of like, "I don't want to get arrested," and there's something that was like, "What did you do?"
Did you go to Leo's birthday party?
But he does say something about like, I don't want to live here. I might get arrested. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
That's an odd thing to come clean about. That's a weird concern.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those guys that I should resurface the U-boat on Twitter. Just to throw the scope around and see what like George Clooney had to say.
George Clooney was apologetic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He said something to the tune of like, I'm not going to mess with politics anymore.
Okay, good.
Whoa.
Man, get back to making movies. So he's a good actor.
Yeah, there was something I don't remember.
What about Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford? I don't know if he's actually much of a tweeter.
Okay.
I cannot see that dude sitting in front of the TV with his thumbs on his phone. Like, I cannot see him caring about
No,
that.
probably not.
Slightest.
Yeah.
All these guys are ancient. De Niro.
Oh, dude, they're
like-
De Niro. Oh, yeah.
De
Oh,
Niro,
never mind. I want to
yeah,
go check
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he
I'm sure.
he
Yeah.
was all sorts of
It's like
fired up.
nothing but spittle.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of it. It's something with the media. It's something with Hollywood. It's all this where you guys do not have the influence or juice that you think you do. This
No,
is
no,
like,
no.
this was Bette Midler saying it's like her and Streisand. It's just like you haven't had a hit in forever.
Bette Midler?
Yeah,
Since the 90s.
no,
Maybe?
yeah. Same
Well,
thing
she
with
did Chicago, didn't she?
no.
No.
Oh, I thought she was.
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay.
She did Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. That's right.
That's a way
That's a
different
long
movie.
time ago.
Yeah, and same thing. Like her and Cher was talking a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like,
Cher did
Cher?
Chicago.
I'm like, no,
Oh
she
yeah,
didn't.
you're right. Yeah, yeah.
She didn't?
No. Chicago was Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine, Christina Apple, or no, Christina.
I thought there was
Renee
an older woman in that
Zellweger.
one. Yeah,
This is those
Yeah.
two. Richard Gere.
in Chicago.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah. Oh.
man, it's been a long time since I've seen that. Then.
Yeah.
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 Okay. All right. All right.
We're talking about the musical, right?
Yes.
The movie?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the one with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought there was an older woman in that one, so I must be thinking of something else.
Well, there's an older woman. I mean, she's a player actress, but I mean, it's not something that you would know her name.
Well, I would
It's
think
like-
it was like a Cher kind of thing.
No,
You're
no.
right.
Yeah, that's the same thing. It's like Cher's coming out of the woodwork. I'm like,
Who cares?
you're like the one that my dad had all the albums of,
Yeah, exactly.
like in
yeah.
the 70s.
Right. Yeah.
Like Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves.
Yep.
Like, do you really think that my niece knows who the fuck you are?
They don't know.
No. Well,
Bro,
you
the kid-
never know,
Dude,
man, with the
my,
shorts.
My folks don't know like anybody. So yeah, I mean,
this is
like
Random stuff comes up in the YouTube shorts that ties into stuff, and I'm like,
wait, what?
why do you know
Yeah.
this?
okay. Fair
Tied,
enough.
and it's
yeah.
tied into some weird
Yeah,
wave or
media-
something.
TikTok social media is a weird thing. So it's very Swiss cheesy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
They follow
That's
weird
well said,
tracks
yeah,
that connect
yeah.
stream of consciousness for how they pull these things out sometimes.
Well, and I understand that a lot of that, like, say for example, and again, I don't want to bring this up, but you mentioned a certain name of something that comes from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And you said it's like you chose that name, and you looked at me like you'll never guess
Oh,
what this
Zaphod
is.
People Rocks.
Well, that's
Zaphod
because
People
you
Rocks.
said that for what it's for.
What? Oh,
Okay,
it's fine.
well, all right.
That's done.
So anyway, he says this. I'm like, he's like, there's no way you'll. He's like, nobody knows my password. I'm like, that's the character from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Right, yeah.
He's like, what?
What?
I thought they just made up that word on Stranger Things.
Well, no, that was what Paul called his animal that he made in
Art school.
art class.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ages
okay.
ago.
Mine was Borg.
Mine was the Sceptric.
Yes, Cedric. yeah.
Okay. That's okay. I was like, yeah, that's
And I thought Paul
I
just,
still have that motherfucker.
I was just like, how in the what the heck? That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I was like, yeah, actually, quite a few people know what this is.
Fair. Fair. But yeah, so yeah, you never know how it all ties together.
No, but I mean, like, there's no like common cultural like experience. So
No.
they've all watched different shows. They've all listened to different types of music. I mean, I've got a guy like actually, this is not the only student that I've seen like this in the last couple of years, but man, he is hard in on like 70s, like metal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, all right, so I can talk a little bit of shop with that guy, but then there's some other folks, maybe they'll be into like early 90s rap. And it's like, okay, I know some of that,
Well, I went into Walmart and I just was looking through the kids aisles for gloves, and there was shirts that said like Megadeth on it, and I was like,
Dude, yeah.
what?
In the children's?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I
where? What? Who is? I can't even knows Megadeth, let alone is like, I need to have that shirt.
picking my daughter up, there are kids who wear Pink Floyd shirts every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they wear Pink Floyd, or they'll wear what the fuck is the Misery shirts? I'll have to look at it again.
The Misery shirts?
Yeah.
Like Stephen King's?
Yes. So,
Really?
Well, like with the mask, isn't that? No, that's not
That's the
Misery.
Misfits.
The Misfits. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Sorry. No.
Hey, I'm surprised that you're not seeing like Dead Kennedys and Violent Femmes.
I haven't
and all
seen
that
any
stuff.
Dead
Stuff like
Kennedys.
anybody from
So there's a lot of Nirvana shit. So for some reason, a lot of people know Kurt Cobain. So
Well, this is not to say. Look, it's funny that you're mentioning that because yes, in our high school years, at least in mine, There were Pink Floyd shirts. There
There were.
Zeppelin shirts. There were.
Yeah, but that was the music your dad listened to back then, man.
But you're talking about. I'm looking back. All right, so the nostalgia thing never works with the decade you just came from.
Right.
So people in the 90s weren't wearing 80s shit. That was out. There's no Beachosaurus. There's no
There's still Beastie Boys.
There's like Rude Dog was done. There's no Alf. There's no nothing.
Alf.
Like that. All right, you're going back one more generation, which is why people were always talking about. It's like I like the Beatles. I like. They're talking about. Yeah, that's
you're right.
Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and all this other stuff. They're going back to 70s rock, right?
Right.
So go forward another decade, right? And that's when all of our childhood shit started getting merchandised, right?
Well, yeah, and it was all like it sounded so samey. So
Yeah, but in the 2000s, at that point, that's where they're going to the 80s then,
yeah, I remember that.
right? And so it's like, oh look, they're taking synth riffs. They're doing that kind of stuff. What about like entertainment? Okay, well Michael Bay makes his Transformers movie, and of course this is where they start poaching stuff from there. The weird thing is it becomes like sort of it's so like incestuous afterwards because I say like, what was there? Okay, so there's stuff in the 90s, right? But if you go back to this, were they really in like the 2010s? Were they really like milking 90s stuff?
Well, I mean, some of it had survived that long. I mean, the fucking
Exactly.
Simpsons and South Park were still around, man.
Bingo,
So,
the franchises hadn't died, so there's no.
yeah.
Still haven't.
Oh yeah, see that makes sense. So like if you never watch the pot and you keep making more meals in it, eventually you start tasting all the same.
That's correct, because you don't go for a South Park revival because South Park is still on,
right. Yeah.
right? So there's no like it's become this like kind of like cultural swamp where it's like, what's retro? Anything's
Anything
retro
you
at this
want,
point.
yeah.
Anything. It's like, all right, if you wanna go ahead and if you want to go ahead and buy a pair of vintage British Knights, go ahead. It's not because it was you're hitting that era. It's like this is this. It's all it's soup. It's just cultural
Yeah, you're
soup.
right. It's just chowder.
It is. Yeah. But it's made from like it has meat in it, but it also has like boots and it has like a share record.
Right,
And it has
yeah.
because
So
a lot of kids like when it comes down to it, they don't know like they're not going to know shit from like Rowan Martin's Laughing, but they might get it because Family Guy made a cutaway joke to it,
maybe.
right?
Yeah.
Or something in one of their
One
videos
of the YouTube
made a reference to something. It's like, what is that? Because that shit happened to us all the time.
It did.
Like,
Yeah, you know, I remember laughing. Very interesting. It was like,
but stupid.
but stupid.
Yeah.
So sock it to me.
Right.
You know? So, but I watched all that shit on Nick at Night, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, the funny thing is that like there's like some really retro stuff that people are like. I've noticed like Betty Boop shit and stuff like that. Like,
Yes.
yeah, and that's like,
Yes.
dude, that's 100 years old. You know. You know? And the skeleton videos were like big on YouTube there for a couple weeks.
Oh, the
Yeah, the xylophone skeletons. Yeah, exactly.
where it's a. You're animating just to animate. It's weird. It's
Well, this was funsies back. Yeah, it was like, look what we can make the skeleton do. Yeah,
no, it's true. And don't get me wrong. Like, it is weird to then just like see the turnout. I was like, it's only like 10 more years until you guys say we don't make cartoons just for the sake of like making them dance and playing a song.
Mm-hmm.
There has to actually be a story here. It's like
it did take a little while.
Yosemite Sam has to start here and end here.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just keep shooting people.
But if you watch the old, I was like, this is just spectacle.
Totally. Yeah, it's how many dancing things can you put? It's basically vaudeville, you know. So
You know what? That must be it. And
Yeah.
you know what? That influences is completely that actually makes perfect sense.
well, and there's a lot of like even the dancing skeletons. They basically tried to choreograph like jazz performances.
That's
So with that, you
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
you're like, well, we don't know how to fucking draw this, so why don't you perform it for us? We'll record it and then we'll try and draw it, you know. So with you guys being skeletons rather than,
yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's a fascinating history. I went down I watched like a 30-minute video about Buster Keaton's best stunts.
Oh wow, some of those are great.
They're fucking amazing. But then
They're
when
terrifying.
the funny thing is when you look at those, you're like, oh, Jackie Chan recreated like half of them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like, that's interesting to think about. It's like, you look at that avenue where he's coming from, it's like, man, this would really translate into like fucking kung fu movies.
Oh yeah,
And it absolutely does, right? It's fantastic. Like the closest thing to that night right now is like Tom Cruise, who still does all of his stunts.
Yeah, but I mean, we all know that he's strapped in. I mean, when Buster Keaton's like actually grabbing onto the back of a trolley that's going 30 miles an hour, there's no rope.
There's no rope. The same kind of shit where it's like, he's really hanging on to those moving clock hands.
Yes.
Like, this is terrifying.
He's really falling through those awnings on that building. Yes, that is many, many stories high.
It is insane. It's so real. I mean, that's the thing. There's
yeah.
Now, granted, I do know that like when the farmhouse falls on him and it goes through the window, it's like, yes, I know there's an X here. You
better do that. This is a measure twice kind of deal.
The first time you see that shit, you're like, I can't believe, because
no, they have the fantastic one with the general where they actually explode a locomotive and like fucking parts go flying everywhere. Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you seen? I'm trying to remember. There's a couple of landmark movies where they really starting changing the rules about safety on films.
It's after Buster Keaton.
Not too much for, because there's. I've never seen it, but there's this movie about Moses and the Flood. It's in black and white, and it's all done with practical effects.
Oh, it's not Charlton Heston's one?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. No, not Moses. Moses isn't the flood. It's
Noah.
Noah. Yes. And like 11 people drowned on that movie.
It sucks.
Because they do everything with just tons and tons and tons of water. That's their actual effect, right? And then, of course, there's the Twilight Zone movie where the actor got his like head chopped into pieces by a helicopter.
Yeah. That shit does not happen anymore, man. So you
the Baldwin thing.
The Baldwin thing.
That's well, and of course, because previous to that, that's the Brandon Lee thing, famously from The Crow.
Oh, The Crow.
But
but they hit him with the rubber bullets, right?
In that movie, in The Crow.
Yeah.
No,
I thought that's how he died. He got hit in the head with.
Supposed to be a blank.
Well, no, it was supposed to so that you could see the impact, but it wasn't supposed to kill it. Okay, I don't know that.
So it wasn't blank, but there was like a piece there was a piece of metal that was in there, so it actually the blank went off and it shot something at him, killed him, right? Because I mean, I don't know, Patrick, I don't know, I'd still feel kind of weird. You were in a gunfighting clothes, so I mean, all right. So
we used to shoot blanks at each other all the time.
And when they're blanks, you'd have no hesitation to point it directly at Will's chest and pop it.
This close, absolutely fucking not. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you were.
If I was out on your deck, yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. But I mean.
But the rule is like if the audience is here on the left and I'm pointing a gun at you, I point it like this. Okay. The audience can't fucking tell, so I never point it directly at you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in that case, they're like, well, these are blanks. I'm going to point it directly at you. We're filming.
Right at your fucking face. Yeah, exactly.
And so, yeah, there was like a piece of like, metal in there.
Oh, the Brandon Lee thing.
Yeah. And then.
Well, and that happens, man. I mean, so our blanks, we used to make our own blanks, and we put that fucking styrofoam in it that, florists use to make like flower arrangements. Because it burns immediately.
Oh, so, yeah. Okay, so it makes better. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But there's these things called Hollywood bullets, okay, which are quite expensive, and you can't reload them. Okay, but they're for like automatic weapons, so that when the gun operates like a normal gun.
Yeah.
And so, but it needs like a heavier charge in order to produce the recoil. So in order to operate the action on it, so they make these Hollywood bullets, and they usually have like a little hole on the end of them. So, but it's a heavier charge, and if that thing's not built right, that thing's basically a bullet. So,
holy shit.
Yeah. So it's all one cast piece, but if it breaks, then yeah, that's why
it's just one piece. It's one. It's not like a shell.
No. So yeah, they don't eject as like they don't look like shells when you can't tell, So yeah, I mean, no, dude, people eject so fast you can't fucking see it. So
Well, you can see something.
sometimes
You see
little
something,
things, but those are Hollywood bullets. We use those for some things because we had some. So
Somebody is
somebody had them.
Okay.
So we were like, oh, these are cool. So
It's kind of like anybody have paintballs? It's like, yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. They got frozen once. We can try them. We can try them.
We can try it. God, that was like 2,500 fucking paintballs. Dude, that cost us like $30 back then. So,
$30 in what year?
Fortune.
in like 1996, this would have been like $1,000.
Well, especially since we had to earn the money.
We did have
Right.
to go out and earn the money.
My kids, they'd be like, Dad,
Oh, I know, man. My
No,
daughter's
go to
so
work.
spoiled too.
here's the
So
money.
she's just got so much fucking money.
It's like I can only talk to you about the times so I know the amount of money I was used to, like with our allowances and stuff. But I can also remember the times like when relatives would come by and they're like if they're Korean, I know this is a very Asian thing, is to slip something in your pocket.
Oh yeah.
Right, and so when they come by, they're blabbing and they just put something and you pull out 100. You're like, I've never seen a bill this big.
Oh yeah. No, not in Irish families. Oh. So, I get like $5 from my grandma for my birthday. So
$5 from grandma on your birthday was when they came to visit, right?
my grandma lived right over
But ours lived on a peninsula.
right, yeah. It's got a lot of minefield.
Way far away from
Way
here, so-
far away. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the first times you'd see some of those big bills. You're like, holy shit.
I don't remember. I don't have a memory of the first time I encountered the $100
What about
bill.
the 50?
Oh no, I can't.
20 was huge news.
20 was huge back in
Huge
the day. If you
news,
got
yeah.
20 for like your birthday, I mean, that was like Santa Claus came.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I get $5 from my grandma for my birthday and for Christmas. My mom would buy my brother and I like 3 or 4 scratch tickets. Yeah.
That's a great gift.
It is
I
a
think
great
it's still
gift.
a great gift today.
It is.
Yeah.
Every Christmas, and then we get one during or she would go, and my parents are poor, so they would buy the lottery. My mom had her weekly numbers, man. So in ours,
Yeah.
yeah.
Run the same numbers every time.
Yep, exact same numbers every time. She would go and she would get the little cards that you fill out, and then she would fill out hers, and then she would give one to my brother and one to me. So we'd be like, "Oh, we're geniuses! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6." They'll never think of it.
Well, I mean, theoretically, you'd have just as good a chance.
It's
but
just as possible as any other combination.
I don't think I've ever seen.
No. So
Oh, I haven't paid attention to the numbers.
I haven't paid attention to the lottery in years. I haven't bought a scratch ticket in years. So I bought my daughter some maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. So
Every once in a while, if I see that it's high enough, and for whatever reason I have to go into a gas station, I'm like, maybe the fates are telling me to buy a ticket.
you were
That's
you were
not
not
weird.
here when Pat and I had that discussion. It's like, it's not just that I'm going to win. I need to win.
I need to must win. Please, God, please.
And you're already mentally spending the money.
I know. It's like I'm gonna pay off my brother's house. I'm gonna pay off mom's medical bills. I'm gonna put money away from my kids in college.
I heard my old gym teacher's kind of having troubles right now. Let me see what I can do for
take care
him.
of
What the
him.
heck, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to McDonald's, buy 1,000 McGuffins and pass them out. Yeah, I know. So then you get older and you actually have a little bit of money. It's like, I don't need to play the lottery. So it's like, wait a minute, I need that. So,
There are weird things too where you start All right, so this was an argument I was privy to afterwards. Maria was telling me about this an argument that she had with her husband.
This is the Russians.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she was kind of like gauging where I sat on this because it had to do with like periods. And again, well, no, and like
Menstruation?
yes,
Oh.
in terms of now,
Okay.
I don't know
Part
that
of
much
this.
about this. So, yeah.
I've always historically and incorrectly like downplayed the effects of this cycle.
You want to borrow a 13-year-old girl? So, yeah.
Mine's not there yet.
Kevin's gonna listen to this someday, and I love her, but oh my gosh, man! So I can, yeah. So
Mine's still sweet and adorable. So
mine is very sweet and adorable until she's not. So anyway,
So she was telling me about this incident where it was and I've explained like the driving situation and
right? Yeah, they want a driver.
right.
yeah.
They want a car.
It's like, yeah, I can teach you how to drive. Do you need me to come out for a week and teach you how? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I'm like,
In San Francisco, they might not have a Kmart parking lot.
Well, they might now.
They might now, yeah.
All the businesses are gone.
That's actually kind of a good point. I was like, why don't I fly you out here this week, and I'll teach you how to drive. So yeah, it's her like birthday, and she's on the rag and all this other stuff, and they get into this fight where I think it had to do with it was like dessert. It had to do with like dessert or food or something like that, and like her husband interjected is like, "Do you really need to spend an extra $20 on this?" Right now, granted, she wanted to go to someplace. We're talking about like a $200 plate, kind of thing like this. This is San Francisco after all. And
I don't get it either.
well, so he's like, yeah, haven't you spent enough? And here, let me ask
Go
you.
nuclear, man.
Here's my question: Would that have ever pissed off any of your partners if you were like, don't you think you've spent enough?
No, because we would talk about where we were going before.
But on that week.
Oh yeah, we've had that discussion many times. So
I'm cheap. I flip out about money all the time.
yeah,
Okay. So,
but
They're in a whole different stratosphere where
yeah,
well, it's not just the stratosphere, and so my understanding is that kind of like in the same kind of like schizophrenic way that our mom used to be with money, where it's, well, you come from a peasant culture, the communists took everything, and having 2 pennies is like gold, and you do not separate from it until you get older, and then suddenly it's like, check out this $15,000 thing I bought, yo. And then at the same time, you're like, why are
it's the
you?
wheels that spin.
It's like,
Yeah.
but it's still set at 60.
why are you wearing 4 sweaters instead of just turning that up to 66?
Oh god, my mom's like that. How called in my house to turn the heat up. It's like, well, it'll get better. I'm like, not if you don't turn the heat up. So, and I've sat down and I've tried to do the math with her. I was like, Ma, I keep my house at 70 degrees. It's fine. Okay. So what's your bill? And she's like, oh, it's like $185. And I'm like, yeah, mine's about 210. So, like,
It's okay.
it's okay. Yeah. You're talking like $20, difference. So a month. And my
your
house is twice
comfort.
the size of yours. So, come on. So it's like, it's just this mental block because,
Yo.
yeah, she came from that peasant culture where she had to chop wood, in order to heat their home.
But when they want to spend money, it's fine.
And that was her point too. She's like, so, but this is my husband. It's like, if you look to my left, and she's just like, looking over her culture, it's like, you'll see an extensive collection of mountain bikes, right? And people that buy mountain bikes don't own 1 mountain bike. They own 10 mountain bikes. And they never get cheaper as they buy them either. right?
You never find someone who downgrades a mountain bike.
Not at all. No,
Yeah.
no.
It's kind of like golf clubs and fishing rods. Yeah.
You're right.
Nobody turns around and says, you know what? I want the cheaper one.
The only thing that'll happen is sometimes it'll evolve. So it's not. Well, I also, you know what? I kind of also want to get a road bike.
Right. Yeah. So I want those big old fat man tires on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, there was this. I was kind of getting lost in it, and I was like, I get your side. Because you're like, all right, well, it's your birthday, and you already felt crappy. And,
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do not do that on your birthday.
Yeah, you're right.
Jesus Christ.
You're right. I missed that detail. Oh, I'm sorry. Dog house.
Absolutely.
You.
Take over, man. You get the couch tonight, buddy.
Wow, that is straight dumb.
That's when you pick up the landmine and you just press
oh
it
my
against
god.
all right, okay.
Yes, that was
That was a critical piece of
Yeah.
information. Jeff.
well, birthday anything goes. That is a yes ma'am moment for whatever comes up.
And I'm trying to defend it too. I was like, well, you
Can't
know,
do that if it's
I was
a
like,
birthday.
I was like, from his perspective, he's not seeing it as just like $20. He's seeing it as $20 everywhere.
And $20 in their world is like
not-
$1.
But again, that's
It's like
symbolic.
couch change.
Yeah.
So
It's again, I was like, but that's symbolic in terms of if I just spend the extra 20 here, she's gonna want 40 later, she's gonna want 60 later, she's gonna.
slippery slope isn't actually a fucking argument.
I know, I know, but then again, it's.
Nope, this is where you just say, nah, he just blew it.
Yeah, he done wrong.
He didn't blow it.
He's out.
I was look.
I hope he apologizes later on and
She's
buys
gonna
you
extract an apology.
Like Liam Neeson in Taken, like
There's 10 different ways to do this. That is one of the better options out there. Yes. So
I was like, look, you've told me about his mother. I can see certain similarities where it's like, Patrick, I think I'm gonna say this. I think our mother kind of hates women.
your mom?
Yes,
Oh.
I think that she thinks there are like 9 good ones on this planet, but the rest of them are just horrible human beings that are duplicitous with everything that they do.
It's not just women.
Oh, that's true. I think she has more venom towards women though.
It's possible. She has a very cynical view of the world.
She does.
She does.
She does.
Yeah.
She does.
People are not.
But there's this.
People are being nice are doing it for a reason.
Everybody's out to get you.
Yeah.
The worst thing in this world is getting got. So, yeah.
But our mother would be quick to say like, well, if she's spending your money like that, she's no good.
Oh well, yeah.
She's like, she's very like old school. It's like a woman must respect you and your money. You like that?
Suddenly, the clouds parted. And the moon showed upon the lake, and we could see how far away it was.
And that's the only thing I was trying to defend because I was like, it sounds like his mother is a lot like my mother, and those two are actually like close. They're like super close, right? Versus we're like, no, we both love our mom, but it's like, I don't want to live like you, right? But he, on the other hand, is close with his mom, so there's a certain amount where he's going to put weight to this kind of thing. It's like, I'm not defending the man. I'm just saying I know where it comes from.
Yeah, the birthday thing is just, yeah.
You don't do that, huh?
No, man, it's like walking into a minefield. You know that's bad. So,
Well, it just to me, like with those kind of things, for me, it's like, oh, that's what debt is for. It doesn't matter. It's like
See, but I complain about money and stuff because I'm cheap and I don't spend money frivolously anywhere else. Obviously, he's free and happy to go spend money and all that kind of stuff.
he's got 10 mountain bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And so, no, he's got no leg to stand on. He's got absolutely no leg.
you should hawk a mountain bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's suddenly cutting corners and penny pinching and being like, oh, we need to watch our monthly budget.
About $20.
well, he has to start at saying we have to watch our budget at some point. I
Yeah.
don't think that's come out of his mouth ever.
It doesn't come out in your mouth on your birthday either.
One time, I
And
think
that, yeah, and then to choose this moment to suddenly be like, we should be more money conscious. Actually, you should be more money. No, yeah, it's not.
And it's not, yeah, like the whole. You can't treat it like it's my money and your money. That never fucking works. So I have never seen a marriage survive that. So
I can't speak to that.
yeah. Well, I was just talking about my experience at the yacht club where it was like, oh well, I have my money and she has hers. It's like I'm gonna set my watch. So I'm gonna see how long this one
Yeah,
goes.
mine didn't work.
Yeah. So yeah. It doesn't work. So
Yeah, I mean, I did say it kind of like surprisingly, like that came up. I was like, you guys have a joint checking account?
yeah, they should.
That's
When you're
kinda-
married, that's exactly what you should do. If you have separate accounts, it's not really a marriage. It's just something on a piece of paper.
I disagree. I think you should have separate accounts as well
Why?
because you want to be able to buy a gift for somebody without them knowing.
We just take out cash and go buy it.
You pay cash online.
I don't know. You could get one of those Visa, cards that you can.
Yeah, but then you're just withdrawing $500 to. There's no secret there.
Well, yeah, you say it's for your birthday. It's a surprise. I don't see what's.
That. Okay,
I'm
so
okay
you're
with-
way missing the boat of like, I have a surprise for you. The surprise has to be organic. You can't see the surprise coming.
I'm okay with
If it's
having
her
still
birthday, come on, man.
some split, some splits.
I get that, man. I just it. So there was a couple over at the yacht club for years, and they were doing this for a while. And I watched it happen where the woman started stash. She was getting paid separately, so she started diverting a lot of her money into her own personal account.
Right.
Was hiding it from her husband because she was getting ready to fucking divorce him. He was trying to do the exact same fucking thing. So
Was that the girl that was watching my dog?
huh?
That was the girl watching my dog, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
You're a sweetheart,
So,
yeah.
she was an absolute sweetheart. She was in a shit relationship
Yeah.
with a piece of shit of a dude but they were both like gearing up to go to battle
Right.
over this, and this is one of the ways they did it. So, but then like I've seen other ones where, like, I don't know, maybe the relationship's not quite on the rocks, but it's just not healthy when, like, it's like, well, this is my money and I can spend it on what I want, as opposed to it's like, no, okay,
I think that's perfectly fine
I disagree,
to
but
have a certain amount. You gotta have a coalesced large amount, but to have your own freedom to be able to do your own things on some stuff.
I would not do anything that she wouldn't know about. So,
She could ask. I don't really care.
well, no, she would have access to it if I had to do it that way. So, but I mean, then what's the point of having separate accounts?
Well, then again, I also
So-
gamble.
Do you not want her to know about that?
Well, I freely admit it, but if I have
You
a
don't want to know how much?
maybe,
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Well, I do know. So here's one other thing is like when I worked at one of the first things I saw, one of the new type of accounts was something called a Christmas fund.
Yeah, I remember that.
You open a separate suffix, and the whole purpose. Oh, okay, yeah. Let me go ahead and deposit 500 here. 50 goes in there, right?
Yeah.
Now, Christmas can also mean strippers. I mean, this is the thing. There's no law that says you have to spend it on what the account says. So I mean,
You
there's
want strippers for Christmas?
we will find a way to finagle it, even if it is law.
all right, but you get my point. So there's having additional suffixes, like again, for that kind of thing, or if you're just a guy where, like that thing where you're just like, okay, if I put this in the general fund, right?
Yeah.
It's not that I'm necessarily gonna spend it, but I'm aware of it. So if I just chuck in here and say like, this is for when my furnace breaks.
Yeah.
This is, like, I don't see anything where it's like, if you don't want to, worry the wife or something, it's like, you don't necessarily have to tell her you're doing that. It's just like, throw $5 in the furnace fund.
But if she does her nails or does something like this where it's showing up on the thing and you're like, God damn, you spent $120 on it, versus
Right.
It's out of her account, and however much she spends on it, yeah, it's no big deal.
You don't have
That's
to trip
what
about
that-
I don't know, man. I keep everything
important,
above
sure.
board, all the same ledger. We both use our debit cards, so we both can see what's going on. And then, like, if she spends $120 like she did the other day on her hair, I don't fucking care because she did that 2 months ago. So, I mean, you just kind of get used to it. So,
Like, I thought you got mad once you have to eat those expensive pizzas every day. But I mean, that's a pretty minor thing.
that was a long time. That was when you were fucking broke.
yeah.
Aren't most people kind of broke?
No,
see-
I do not agree with that.
That they're not living paycheck to paycheck?
Everybody lives paycheck to paycheck. So if you're not in the top 10%, you live paycheck to paycheck.
So then it would be an issue.
There you go.
Not if you budget it. So
That's a major.
everybody should have a fucking budget. You have a budget whether you wrote it down or not. It exists.
That is correct.
So you should write it down and take a look at it and then talk about it with your
So
partner.
you're budgeting. This much goes to her so that she can
Yes.
do whatever things she wants, and I
Yep.
won't get mad at it.
Yep.
That's why, yeah.
That's
So you
exactly
said-
what I do. I just do it all from one account and it works fine.
I'm sure it
So-
works anyway.
But you got to understand, again, that's you.
Yeah.
That's you. Okay, you got to understand. Did you yell at the dudes in your backyard?
About what?
Being in your backyard?
No, there were. I don't have a backyard for people to like violate.
That is correct. Okay. Did you yell at the people shooting fireworks?
No, Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you and your wife have a level of calmness beyond the
Yep.
average human being. Okay. So I want you to understand that. So
Cancer will do that.
I don't think it was just you and she both have a little bit of a natural chill that a lot of people do not.
Yes. So
Right? So the one size fits all thing, it's like, yeah, kind of, but like it's real tight around my midsection and it's really short on a tall guy. So I mean, I get it. You can't give that same, perspective to everyone. It's like you and I talked about with there are 2% of people in this world who are mature enough and not jealous enough to actually have open marriages.
yeah, that's
right.
about 2%.
And I'm being generous. Okay?
It's probably about I mean, well, if 2% of the population is gay, so I mean, like it's probably more than that.
But
Wait, are you saying gay people are the only ones that can do this?
no, we're just talking percentages.
Oh, okay.
No, but they do it much more successfully than others. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Well, they have to. But all right, I'm not going to go there. All right, but if there's,
Okay, go ahead.
that's a whole nother discussion for another
Okay,
day.
yeah.
So
it's
All right.
yeah, all right. Anyway,
okay. All right, but if you have like maybe 2%, and most of the time those 2% aren't in relationships with each other, right? Because the other person that's there is usually not okay with that. They say they are, but they're not.
Wait a minute, money?
The open relationship.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
I wasn't tracking.
So, well, yeah.
Right, mathematical probabilities.
Yes.
says that you're not likely to find the other 2%.
And so if you're part of that 2%
2%,
relationship where you can
2%,
do that,
0.04%. Yeah, that's bad.
well, I'm not saying 2% per gender. I'm
I
saying
mean,
2%
I'm saying
total.
you probably have a higher chance.
Well, you'd
But it wouldn't
advertise
be
that.
much,
Yeah,
yeah.
it wouldn't be
It wouldn't
much.
be much.
I've seen a couple of people try it. It is so spectacularly disastrous.
The
I want
yeah,
no part of it.
no,
Yeah, it's
the-
oh man, I saw some people do it at the yacht club. It was hilarious.
and they think it's saving the relationship. It always.
Oh no, that one went right to divorce. That was on the divorce train real fast.
But what I'm saying here is like if you find that
It's like
other,
the next stop.
if you find that other person that has that capability, cool, you're in the right place, right? For the rest of us, there's something in between like joint checking, all things, and complete like
Having a little piece on your side.
little piece on your side, right? That's like the compromise between like you two are super cool, right? And that's gonna work because you guys are super cool and you found each other.
Yeah, but like most of the successful relationships that I've seen over the years have like there's like a template, and that's part of the template.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Part
it's like yeah, you can still be your own person. All right. So like I mean, I spend most of my time downstairs. So away
Exactly.
from my wife and child.
Which is a little
So-
different than
Very different than you.
How many
So-
times in your life has your wife been like, "Are you coming to bed?"
Exactly 0.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
That is
zero.
rare.
Stay up
yeah.
and wait for you.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. See, that one's kind of standard in almost every relationship
Yep.
I've ever
Not
been
my.
in.
Yeah.
like,
No.
yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we're both half vampires, so you know,
Right.
like I have to work tomorrow, but I'll still be up till 3:30 tonight. No problem.
Sleep when I get home.
I sleep when I
Yeah.
get tired.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if it happens to be at work, then so be it.
Anybody looking? I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah. I don't think I have any meetings tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a nap day.
Oh, I got meetings tomorrow.
Jeff, you got nothing but meetings, man. So
I got meetings about arguments that we had about meetings.
you're meeting about meetings?
That's correct.
Isn't that a
Oh.
Dilbert cartoon? You know?
Yeah.
All right, I think that's a good place to cut it off.
Okay.
Go meet about meetings.
Any last thoughts that you want to just chime in here with, just based on the week or?
It was a sad day today, Bronco wise, but they showed good. I got good. It was a good learning experience, but they should have won. But they're way ahead of the process of where they should be.
Let me say, okay, so do they have a potential Chief Buster team?
Oh, dude, our defense was killing him.
Yeah, they were doing pretty
Okay.
good.
Oh my god,
They held him.
Okay,
They
okay.
held him.
they were beating the tar out of Mahomes.
So there is.
I'm cool to play the Chiefs all the time. The Ravens, they're gonna beat the tar
Ravens are scary.
because they will just line up and shove it down your throat. The Chiefs, we can hurt them.
I like that.
So I'm cool with that. We're coming along.
Okay. Okay.
We,
So
we
there's
weren't
positive
we
stuff
weren't
there,
supposed to win the Super Bowl this year, so we're everywhere. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
yeah. Okay.
It just hurt.
It just.
It just hurt.
Yeah, it's stolen victory.
you know.
So yeah.
You, Pat, any last thoughts?
Just for the historical record, so we had a 3-day snow day week. I don't think that's ever happened. I was thinking back.
Oh yeah.
A 3-day one?
It was a week when the blizzard, the tornado, whatever they called it, the bomb
Stupid
cyclone.
Bomb cyclone?
That was
The kids were out for a week?
that was a week.
How long ago was that?
God, I was still
Yeah, bomb cyclone of.
Oh crap! Where are the kid?
What were your kids into when that happened?
I was still in the oil field. So
Oh, so this is pre-COVID.
yeah. So maybe it was like kindergarten. God, when was the
Oh.
bomb cyclone?
Then
Maybe
that's
they were-
possible because then it's possible that my daughter wasn't actually in school.
Is it also possible that the bomb cyclone might have given those guys more day off?
Out there on the barren wastelands? Yeah, possibly.
because they get snow drifts that are
Oh,
apocalyptic.
2019.
So just before COVID.
That was COVID.
That was.
I don't remember a week off.
Yeah, but maybe it's all I.
It was brutal out where we were. Like the
That might
snow
be
drift,
right.
you could literally walk over the fences.
I remember it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So anyway, I like 3-day snow days. So snow day weeks. I want it to snow like a motherfucker this winter. So
Well, it's off to the start.
I know, man, but I just forget how fucking peaceful it is.
this week. I need my testosterone shot, dude.
I
Cut down the shop.
just like it. It's so peaceful. So-
It was, but it was shoveling. You didn't shovel.
I don't shovel shit.
Yeah, I shoveled a lot.
I don't shovel nothing, man.
I shoveled once, not twice.
That worked. I have the little path to walk to your door.
You have a
I'm
little path.
good.
It was perfectly clean at one point. And it snowed more.
A lot more. Yeah. So,
All right.
all right.
Cool.
I'm Pat.
I'm well.
I'm Jeffrey.
Get in the button.
Yep.